Good evening. Welcome to the penultimate episode of this year of the Power Hour. It couldn't be better to be closing out a year than our guest tonight. We're pretty close to Christmas, so Father Dripmas being in the house as we get closer to Dripmas Eve, it just makes sense. So give a great Power Hour welcome to our good friend and frequent flyer here on the show, the one, the only Paragon. Hello, sir.
How you doing? How you doing? I was actually worried at first because I'm like, you know what? We ain't reached our status quo. I ain't been on yet this year. What's going on?
That's fair. And like I said, save the best for last. I guess we could. I mean, you're hot on the heels of one of our most popular episodes because we had Ryor, the King of Crossturnia. That's a whole other thing. Tonight we get the hunter. Tonight we get the man that is stalking his prey. That will be doing all the stalking this Saturday night in Wisconsin as Frontline Pro presents Contact, and could be a match of the year candidate for a title as Paragon takes on the very formidable Ewok. Now, Paragon, I'm a little not that I've got nothing but love for you. We've come a long way since the trunk situation from a few.
Even though you did say Frontline Pro literally welcomed the devil into their doors.
I did, because that is legitimately how your arrival shifted the landscape at Frontline Pro. I don't think they realize who they're dealing with.
All I'm gonna say is I was offended, and the reason why I was offended is I'm something far worse than the devil.
See, that's my point. They don't know you like I know you, but they will. And Ewok is going to be possibly one of the first recipients. They had gone off the air when you made your way to the ring at the end of that show, and you were literally stalking. I mean, you look like a panther on the attack from the National Geographic Channel. The way you kind of came out of the curtain, nobody saw you until it was too late. And I kind of think that's your trademark. Nobody sees you until it's too late. You posted a photo that says, if you see this, it's too late. And I kind of think that maybe Ewok, who is a great champion, maybe he's seen you, but maybe he's too late. So I don't have a great feeling about his run as champion because you're involved.
Well, whether it is me in my stance ready to attack, whether it's me walking through the curtain, honestly, once you see my name next to yours on the card, it's already too late. That's just being real. Anybody can get it. I have been saying this for a while now. Some people think it's a catchphrase or whatever like that. No, anybody can get it. I am here to prove that I'm the world's most dangerous game, that I'm the top of the food chain. I want you to send me your beast, your baddest, and your best. I don't want your prey. I'm hunting predators. Because that's how you prove that you're top of the food chain. Godzilla didn't become king of the monsters by putting fear in the people. He put fear in the things that they feared, and he made them all bow. And when I say anybody can get it, it's also because I don't like a lot of things, and I don't like a lot of people. I also don't have a lot of respect for a lot of people because I've seen way too many people try to eat off my plate. I've seen way too many people try to take food off my plate, try to take food out the mouth of me and my tribe, to try to take pelts off the backs of me and my tribe. But Ewok is different. Got a lot of love and respect for Ewok. He himself said he's fighting a demon. And once again, he's facing something far more worse. But honestly, I'm worried because part of me feels that when I step in that ring with him, I'm going to see the man that I got love for. I'm going to see the man that I got respect for. I'm going to see the man that I actually like. And I have to make a decision on whether or not he's the next on my menu, or if I allow him to live to fight another day. And this isn't me saying whether or not I'm going to hold back. This is more so me saying whether or not I'm going to allow myself to enjoy what I'm doing. there's sometimes when I do stuff in that ring, I don't enjoy what I do because I don't want to tap into that dark side of me. A lot of people have been seeing the face paint recently and whatnot. And a long time ago, back when I was the walking apocalypse, and I people used to talk about I had this godlike strength because I was dabbling in voodoo. And that voodoo I was dabbling in would actually kind of help give me some aid. And I don't always like what happens and what it brings out of me, because a lot of times when I dabble into that, Paragon's no longer here. Now it's just Namir. Namir is like this entity that takes over me. And so I'm hoping I can leave that at home when I face Ewok, because when I'm him, I like what I do a little too much.
Well, we have all witnessed that scenario in other places at other times. Ewok presents to you, I think, a unique challenge because I've been covering and commentating wrestling for many years now, and very few people I have ever seen strike as hard as Ewok and work as hard as Ewok. So Ewok is one of these people that seems to, the more he is in peril, the better he responds to it. And how does Paragon prepare for someone who he has friendship affinity for, but Ewok only knows one speed, and he's not going to be looking across the ring at someone he necessarily respects or has friendship for. He's just looking at you going, this guy's going to try to take my title, and I'm not going to have that. That's a very interesting dynamic heading into Contact this Saturday in Wisconsin.
Well, correction, I'm not trying to take his title. I'm trying to take his head.
Protect your neck.
This ain't about, what'd you say?
I just told him to protect his neck.
Protect your neck. And I say that because at the end of the day, this ain't just about a championship. I'm the new kid on the block, but I'm the most dangerous game. I'm not the biggest dog in the yard. I'm Cerberus.
Ooh, that's deep and that's dark, and that is something that I'm not sure Frontline Pro is ready for what could very easily become the Paragon era. I've seen you roll up on places before. I've seen you come in, and next thing you know, it ceases being Frontline Pro and becomes Paragon Line Pro or something like that, where you take over and it's you. Is that what's happening here, possibly?
All I'm going to say is, they say that Papa was a Rolling Stone and wherever he lays his hat was his home. Well, wherever I step foot is my hunting grounds. I'm the apogee of all I see. My name being Paragon means that I literally am the highest point. I am the model of excellence and perfection. I am the zenith of Zion. I am the peak of prominence. And anywhere I go, I'm not looking for scraps. Think about this. How many people have been at Frontline Pro and still have yet to get a title opportunity?
Quite a
this
few.
Is my second show, and this is my second title opportunity. In the first show, it got stolen from me. I didn't get pinned, so in my opinion, I didn't lose.
That's fair.
But with Ewok, I have ripped out the hearts of people I loved before. I don't have a qualm doing it again.
That much is clear. Do you have a message? Because I know Ewok will watch this. Do you have a message for Ewok heading in to Contact this weekend?
They say, Ewok, that it's business. It's never personal. It's always personal for me. There's always somebody in my way. There's always someone trying to take what's mine. There's always someone eating off my plate. You are one of the few people that has actually sat at my table, helped prepare the meal. We actually broke bread together. but don't think that's going to stop what's going to happen to you. I am inevitable. I'm undeniable. You talked about in a recent conversation you had that, I was going to pull up and get my ass whooped. I need you to understand this. I will feed off of you. And I will use you as an example for the rest of the locker room to know that I'm here. And now that you're seeing me, it's too late. And anybody can get it.
Strong words from Paragon. Contact this Saturday night, 8853 South Howell Avenue, Oak Creek, Wisconsin. It is going to be a show of shows, many championship matches at this one, including the Frontline Pro Championship, Ewok and Paragon. You've got the battle-tested championship that is going to happen. You've got the tag team titles that are on the line. You've got the battle-tested Crusader Championship. So it's going to be a hot night of wrestling, and Ewok and Paragon is going to be one of those matches that people will run back and watch many, many times. Red, what say you about your nephew here?
I mean, what is that?
Is he inevitable?
Ain't that what he told you?
That's what he told me. I believe it.
I mean, you should know.
Stamp.
You should know firsthand.
I do.
Anybody. So,
mind my P's and Q's around Paragon.
As much respect we have for Ewok.
I also need Ewok on Sunday, so please don't take his soul, because I need him, or I'm going to lose my match Sunday at IPW, and I need all the help I can get.
Well, I mean, you might be going in
man short.
Handicap. Yeah, you might be going in a little bit short. Because I know my nephew. And he ain't on no bullshit. He is one of the most systematic people that I know. And when I mean by systematic, he is going to feast on whatever part of Ewok he chooses. And when Saturday's done, they are going to say, and new, because the bones will be left. It's going to take the rest of the ring crew to come sweep him up, because he ain't bullshit. He about that business. He about that life, So, all of you guys going ooh and ah about my promo a couple of months ago and how real it was. Well, shit, what do you think? We a family, So I channeled my inner nephew, and I had to go there. And, the difference is, Paragon goes there all the time. All the time. So I
Rion Skills has found something funny. This ought to be good. Yes, Rion.
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Rion, say hi to Paragon.
Hi, Paragon. My apologies for this very, very, very detailed scenario, but I'm just going to be honest with you. This is one of those times where I just forgot to turn the mic off. So my apologies, as I'm trying to get through all these other messages. Please don't beat me up. I got shit to do on Sunday. Please don't kill me.
No promises.
Okay, well, I still got to go to work, so at least I got the day. At least I respect the honesty. I get that much. So thank you. Uh, I'll go back to being silent. That's normally what I do. So I'll just go ahead and continue on. Sorry, Red. My bad.
All righty.
That's how somebody ends up in a trunk. Trust me, I've been there and I've done that.
Man, I'm gonna hang up. I'm going to hang up.
No, don't hang up. We need you.
I'll just hang up. I'll hang up.
Whew, all right. Also joining us now is our other correspondent, Pac-Man. Pac-Man, I'll deal with you a little bit later on, but say hello to Paragon.
Hello, Paragon.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good, man.
You got to stay out of his way. Just because you're Mr. 1-0, Paragon's got a lot of hunting and he may find his way to you. So just be silent and we'll let you talk when we feel it's necessary, okay?
10-4.
All right, very good. Paragon, this is going to be your second show at Frontline Pro. What do you think of it thus far, as the new man on the block? I mean, if we can even call you that because you've been around for an age.
So here's my assessment. First and foremost, we'll be when Frontline contact happens, we'll just be a few days shy of my 6-year anniversary in wrestling. And
I feel like you've been here for much longer than that.
Don't it though?
Damn.
I've been told I got an old soul. But when I say wherever I step foot is my hunting ground, sometimes I step foot in places that look like barren lands. And it's up to me to bring life back to them. Kind of like in Lion King. It took Simba coming back in order for the lands to be fruitful again. And I've had to do that many places. The one thing I like about Frontline is there's so many predators. So many big, strong, fast, agile, talented, even dangerous beings in that locker room. And I'm putting together a cookbook and I can't wait to add every last one of them to my menu. See, there's certain places I wrestle and I'm like, you know what? Maybe him and her and the rest of them just don't talk to me. But no, I look there and I'm already thinking, I would love to add you to my menu. Or no, see this one right here, that's a full course meal. So we'll see. You'll definitely see how things play out. But you yourself said that I was probably going to win that tournament if fate didn't cause me not to be able to be in it. And so trust and believe, I'm coming for everything that's been denied me.
Yeah, that was my bold prediction. And people said, why would you say that about somebody who just got here? And I was very clear in saying, just because you don't know the animal doesn't mean the animal's not deadly.
And what's funny is you made that prediction. You know it's sad when other people in the tournament are making the same prediction. Because if I recall, I believe the winner of the tournament said it was going to be he and myself in the finals.
Yeah, Shaq Jordan prognosticating. He was the winner of the tournament there for Frontline Pro. But
because
that would have been a hot match at the end if it was you versus Shaq.
Correction. He was the winner because I wasn't there. Not going to throw any shade at him, but there's a reason that they call me Mr. Tournament, and that's because I don't lose. I've not lost a single tournament. I don't plan on starting that now. But I will say I would love to add Shaq to my menu. First of all, I love his name, Shaq Jordan. Dominant greatness. I love it.
He's a generational treasure.
And the thing is, when you have something like that, when you have a delicacy like Shaq Jordan, when you have something that is so rare, you have to make sure that when you have that in front of you, you appreciate the meat. You have to make sure that you have all the perfect and right ingredients. You have to make sure that the heat is set just right because you don't want to ruin such a beautiful thing. And also, I'm just going to say this right now. Frontline Pro, you have a crown jewel in Shaq Jordan. But I'm also all about snatching crowns, and I'll damn sure snatch that crown the chance I get.
Shaq Jordan, one of the best on the frontline roster for sure. There's another man out there that has held gold for a long time that I think would be an interesting matchup for you, and that is Sexy Violence Quinn Whittick. Is that someone that might be on your menu?
I'm going to be honest with you. Quinn is somebody that I have been eyeing through the tall, tall grass for a while now. I'm not saying that he's not going to be on my menu, but everything happens by design. And that's where I'm going to leave that at. Everything happens by design.
There's just all sorts of stories waiting to be told. 2024 is going to be one hell of a year at Frontline Pro Wrestling, and it all starts this Saturday. The road to the domination of Paragon begins in Oak Creek at Contact. It's going to be amazing. I wish I could be there to see it, but I already know what's going to happen. So when you and Ewok go at it, just remember, I've predicted it the match of the night. You need to make me look smart.
Well, see, you want a match of the night. I want a feast. So it depends on what you call a match of the night, because I'm trying to create a massacre, not a masterpiece. Ewok's the type of person that if you try to create a masterpiece with him, he's going to get the final brushstroke. You asked earlier how you prepare for someone like him, and it's knowing your opponent. It's knowing their strengths. It's knowing the type of person that they are. Ewok is a bad boy. Ewok is dangerous. And you said yourself that the more pain inflicted over periods of time, then he tends to, kind of rive off of it. So what do I need to do? If I don't end it quickly, I need to take something out. So that way, no matter how strong he's feeling, no matter how fired up he is, I'll always have a target to wear him out and wear him down with.
Whew. Strong words from Father Dritmus himself. Ewok, where else can the people find you? Because I know you're very active.
Did you just call me Ewok?
No, I said Father Dritmus. Where can
Oh no, he did. Oh no, he definitely called you Ewok. He definitely called you Ewok.
You can run that back. I know who this is.
Yeah, run that back, because you definitely said, Ewok, where else can we see you?
I agree to disagree. Anyway,
I was there.
You were not there. You were laughing earlier.
What did you
I
hear?
heard Ewok too, Steve.
Pat, I said we'll let you talk when we're ready to let you talk. You've got lots to atone for tonight yourself.
Yo, C.Red, what'd you hear?
He said Ewok.
If I misspoke,
You beat his ass, sir. You beat his ass. You beat his ass, sir.
Here we go. Back to the trunk I go.
I thought you said you didn't like the trunk.
I'm not going in the trunk again.
Didn't your wife not like having her rose bushes ruined?
Yeah, it was a problem for many, many moons, and it's still a problem, actually. But that's a story for a whole other show. Where can people find Paragon other than Oak Creek? You're worldwide. You're all over the place.
Well, I will be debuting in Canada next month, so I'm looking forward to that. Outside of debuting,
Canada ready for you?
Oh, trust and believe. Nobody's ready for me, but once I'm there, they can't do nothing about it but enjoy it.
That's fair.
Also, at the beginning of the month, I'm going to be in a Loser Leaves Town match. Emerge Wrestling in Columbus, Indiana. I'm going to be facing a man by the name of Daniel Leeds. He is the Emerge Heavyweight Champion. He and I have gone toe-to-toe 3 times now. The first time we went toe-to-toe, he sucker punched me and low blowed me after I tried to make him tap out, and his manager literally caught his hand, preventing him from tapping out. Second time we faced each other, the match went to a no contest, and he sucker punched me after the match was over. Third time we faced each other, he hit me in the face with a golf club.
Ooh.
These are all been over a period of a 2-3 year time span. So pretty much he said that he's tired of facing me, especially now that he has his heavyweight championship. And so they pretty much said that if he wins, I can no longer wrestle nor return to Emerge Wrestling. But if I win, he has to leave, and I finally get my destiny of becoming Emerge Heavyweight Champion. And my mindset is, if I can't beat him, I don't deserve to be there. So that's one place you can catch me here soon. You can also catch me on YouTube, especially through Household Production Podcast and Entertainment, because I'm going to be doing NXT reviews every single week called Pissed Off P, where I tell everybody all the things that pissed me off because I'm always angry. I'm also going to be a part of the In Your House podcast, as I'm like their Shannon Sharp. I'm like, look at Skip. All right, Skip, this is what we're going to do here, Skip. that Roman Reigns is a bunch of roast of Skip. So I'm going to be, I guess you could say, the color, the experience, and the wrestling vet for the In Your House podcast. On social media, at @the_Paragon on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. The Paragon 23. Catch me up on Facebook. And also I'm on TikTok. I got a pretty good following on TikTok as well. And I'm going to be posting clips there. I'm also going to be probably doing some food reviews. You never know what I'm going to do. I'm a multifaceted person. And honestly, once my menu is finished, I'm going to also be showing what I'm cooking up, because I got a couple of recipes in the fire right now that I don't think some people are ready for.
The very busy Paragon. 6 years. I don't know why I was under the impression that you had been doing this longer than that. You're now a podcast person. You're doing podcasts. You're a elite wrestler. You're an elite podcaster. You're doing all of this stuff. What would you like? Where's your end game here? What do you want out of this business, entertainment? What are you aiming for? If you can have anything, you're looking up in the sky, pie in the sky, you want it all. What is it that you want?
Well, one, everybody wants it all, don't we? But I'm gonna break it down like this. Worst case scenario, I can buy my mom her first house and her dream car with the money I make from wrestling. That's worst case scenario. My dream, though, yeah, that's worse. Worst case scenario. My dream, though, I would love to be contracted. I would love to be Hall of Fame. I would love to, wrestle on WrestleMania. I would love to wrestle on Dynamite and All In. I would love to wrestle somewhere where I can show the world who the hell I am. But also, I want to get back to the business. I want to leave the business better than I found it. I want to help the next generation. I want to open my own wrestling school eventually. I want to have my own wrestling company eventually. And on top of everything else, I want that when I'm gone. So this is some real talk here. And this is KJ. When I was in high school, my cousin passed away. He was in his early 40s. He died of a car accident. And we are heading to his homegoing, because to us, a funeral is when we know where you're probably going, but a homegoing is a different celebration. So we go to his homegoing, and you would have thought it was a nightclub because we were having to turn people away. And for over a decade, people still to this day keep sharing these memories and these stories about him. When we were there, we had to set a time limit of remembrance, because we're like, there's too many people that want to share their lovely stories about this person. I want to leave the business in a way that when I'm gone, I can have a similar situation and feel, where it's people lined up outside the church wanting to say their goodbyes and share their I love yous and I remember this and I remember that. And not just because you enjoyed my match, but because you enjoyed me as a person. Whether it was I made you laugh or smile, whether I was there for you during a dark time period, whether,
I put you in the trunk.
Yeah, man, I put you in the trunk. Because some motherfuckers got to get thrown in the trunk. Whether you got ham whammed, when you got to hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker. I'm just saying, you never know. You never know. But I just want that when I'm no longer here, and it's not just being remembered fondly, but to be remembered. They say you die twice. And that's when you take your last breath, and then when the last person speaks your name for the very last time. So if I can be somebody who, even when I'm gone, they're still speaking my name, whether it's putting my name in the conversations of GOATs or whether it's putting my name in the conversations of good people, that's the legacy. That's the end goal. You know, yeah, I would love to get a contract. Yeah, I would love to make money and get signed. Yeah, I would love to do all these things. But at the end of the day, how will you be remembered? Because there's so many people that are the GOATs that we wish we could forget.
Very, very, very impressive. All right, Pac-Man, do you have any questions you'd like to ask Paragon? You've done a nice job for the most part, being quiet and maintaining your anonymity. What would you
You're only
like?
saying that because you got in trouble.
That's fair. No, he's in trouble for later. So after we've said our goodbyes to you, I've got beef with him, but I'm not going to waste your time with my nonsense. This is your time. It's Paragon's time. I respect that. I'm not going to put my baggage on you because you're above all that. But Pax, what do you got for Paragon?
I mean, honestly, I don't really have any questions for Paragon, but just want to say that I really do enjoy his work, and I've seen him in a couple places, and I really do enjoy his matches.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You are in trouble though with me now because you're supposed to have questions. You're supposed to have something, you know. I'm playing with you. I'm playing with you, but I do appreciate that. I appreciate that because a lot of people don't realize that in this business, sometimes we are our own worst critics. So even when there's a match we hate, to hear somebody say that they enjoy our work, it truly is a blessing, at least in my opinion.
All right, Red. C.Red, you still with us?
No.
I got a special way I want to close this segment out, but it wouldn't be one of your favorite guests if I didn't let you give him the roses. So you got some roses, purple for Paragon?
Of course. So first of all, again, pardon my voice. But so it's not Paragon. It's Keychain. With 5 days left, I had time to reflect on 20 years. KJ came in to my life only a few years ago. Didn't know him from the average guy. And instantly, after 2 minutes of us talking, he was family. He is somebody that I respect because I love him as a man. I love him as a son. And I love him as a performer. Because whether you love him or hate him, you fucking talk about him. And during those dark times in my life, he was one of the few that reached out. And you don't forget that. See, this is all fun and games. Yes, we do this. And a lot of people, that's what it is to them. The weekend is over and they go back to their regular lives. But he didn't do that. He could have let me fall deeper. He could have let me done something stupid, but he took the time to make sure I did. And he didn't give me that, that regular bullshit, I guess I'll say. He talked to me as he was my nephew. Get your head out your ass. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. It's one situation. We gonna get through it. And you heard the word I said. He said, we'll get through it. That lets me know he's my family. It's fucked up that I have a bigger family in this crazy ass business than I do in real life. So, to KJ, to Paragon, I thank you for everything. I thank you for being there when I thought nobody else was. I thank you for the bullshit sessions. I thank you for beating Steve's ass when we kept saying, shut the fuck up, Steve. And he didn't want to listen. And finally his ass had to listen, didn't he? And we talked before we went on. So
I wish I recorded all that. That was great stuff.
So for you, you already know. But I love you. And I will always be here for you. So I thank you. I appreciate you. And again, I love you.
I love you too, Unc. And I need you to understand that this love is beyond mutual. You talk about how I've been there for you. There are times you've been there for me and you didn't realize. You talked about how we met for the very first time, and after 2 minutes, we were already family. You didn't even understand I needed you that day. That day, I was in a dark place. That day, I was struggling. You took it upon yourself to converse with me, to laugh with me, to talk to me like I was a peer, like I was an equal, like I was a human being, like I was your family. There have been many a days I didn't want to be here no more. And I'm dealing with life BS. Hey, nephew, look at this mask. Hey, nephew, look at this idea I got. Hey, just checking in on you to see how you're doing. And when you allowed me to be there for you when you were struggling, and I said, hey, you got to remember who the fuck you are. You got to remember who you are. You got to remember that you have a 100% success rate against every single last of your worst days. Honestly, after a while, when I was doing the tag me in stuff, and I'll be honest with you, there was a point where I'm like, I just hope Unc sees it. Because if he sees it and it reaches him and it helps him, then that makes me feel like I'm doing something. And honestly, the only reason I stopped doing the tag me and stuff was because I got to a point where I was struggling so bad, I felt like I was a hypocrite. I felt like me asking people to keep on fighting, to keep on pushing when I didn't want to. I felt hypocritical, and that's part of why I stopped, because I felt like I wasn't practicing what I was preaching. I was trying. It was hard. And I remember you reaching out. I remember the first I did, it was a random one. It was a random one sometime this year. And you were like, I missed these. And I don't think you understand how my whole day was better after that. I also appreciate that when I was going through it, because this time last year, Once again, KJ speaking. This time last year, my best friend killed himself. My car got stolen. My wrestling gear got stolen.
I remember that shit.
My wrestling merchandise got stolen.
All
my
of it.
car was totaled when they found it, and I got fired all in the same week. All in the same week. But both of you reached out to me. Both of y'all checked up on me. Both of y'all made sure I was okay. And Unc also made sure, hey, you struggling right now, but I'm going to tell you like he told me, you don't get to live in this. You got a 100% success rate. You're going to show worse days. You're going to get through it. And honestly, I don't think I would have been here if it weren't for him kind of using my own words against me. You can tell yourself and feel like you're the world's most dangerous game. You can say you're the model of excellence and perfection and say that you're the paragon. That don't mean you always feel it. Especially when lifes, because life be lifing.
Yeah, I do.
And you can do everything you can to get stuff in order. You can do everything you can to try to be prepared. But you could plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather. So I love you and I appreciate you.
That might be the most profound segment we've ever had on this show. That was amazing to listen to. I somehow feel better about my own situation. I feel heard. And I think that's what you're talking about. Sometimes you just want someone to hear and listen. And you guys had that, and I think that's amazing. It's really interesting to the veil to come down. And when you said, I might be the excellence, I might be the paragon, but when life lifes, it affects even you. And I think that's really profound because, you see the most together, well-respected talent in this business, but, behind the scenes, human, just like everybody else, we all have those moments where we don't feel like we're enough. And I think that getting behind the mask, so to speak, tonight, I think it will resonate with people because, we all have that where there are those days where you just don't feel like you're enough. Even Paragon sometimes doesn't feel like he's enough. Even C.Red sometimes doesn't feel like he's enough. And nobody wants, it's not about people just need to know that they're not alone in their struggles. We all struggle a little bit. And the interaction you two just had, beautiful and makes you believe a little bit more, not only in family and friendship, but in, maybe things will be okay in the end. And I think that's amazing. You two are a credit to the human race and the wrestling business all in one. And I've got nothing but love and respect for both of you. And, it's just amazing to listen to. And I'm inspired by it. And I think everybody that watches will also be inspired by it. Now, to segue into next week, because Paragon, you're a busy guy. Next week is our final show. I don't know if it's going to be the final Power Hour, but it might be. We're still going to hear about that next Tuesday night, whether Red is going to stay on in this show or whether this show is going to change and become something else. We're doing a roast where some people are going to gather together. We're going to do this live. Well, we're going to tape it live, and then there are going to be people. It's going to be kind of an in-studio thing where we're going to have guests and people are going to just trash Red's good name for the fun of it because he's sabbaticaling. He retired once. This is not a retirement. This is a sabbatical. We've understood that Marche Rocket has told us the very important difference between those words. So you take this if you want it. You don't have to do it, but I feel maybe you, above all else, might be the best choice to start next week's show right now. And if you want, you can say, you've already said nice things about him, but if you want to put the hunter mask back on a little bit and roast the Red just a little bit, I'm not asking you to go all out, because everybody that's going to be there live is going to have a prepared statement. I'm kind of asking you on the fly because there's no way I would ask you to do the Power Hour 2 weeks in a row. We appreciate your time that much. But, you know, if we're going to open the floor to the decimation of C.Red as he goes on sabbatical, then I can't think of a better way to start than have Paragon do it the week before.
I mean, well,
Hey, go ahead.
how you feel about all right? I mean, well, first and foremost, we got to talk about how Unc dresses because I love how Unc decides he wants to come in looking like a pimp from Augusta every time. Every time he steps in there, I'm just saying, every time I see Unc at a show, he comes in the show like a preacher that used to gangbang and pimp, but he found God and decided he would turn his life around. But he got that one Bible that got the gun thing carved out in it, so in case somebody set trips, he could hold on now, not in my house. I'll bust a cat. Blessed all the peacemakers, like, you know. And then, you know, Unc got the nerve to, you know, because I mean, Unc, I love Unc, but Unc is also compact. So he got that big personality, but he also comes off as Keychain Suge Knight sometimes. And I'm just like, come on. Granted, he may be Keychain Suge Knight, but he hit like him twice. So I don't know if I want to say too much, you know.
Oh my God. That is, I'm writing that shit down. Keychain Suge Knight.
Oh, God.
Also, Unc think that we don't realize that he stole the symbol from the Red Lantern Corps for his logo. You know, I know that, right, Unc?
I'm sure most people do. If they read comics.
I want to say, I'm like, he goes straight up. He say, you know what? White people appropriate everything for us. I'm appropriating their superhero logos.
I'm like, shit. Man. Ain't like everybody know who the fuck it is. So,
oh man, that is just the greatest. Keychain Suge Knight. My God, that is a revelation. Red, you now have another nickname that you didn't even know you need.
I was dead at the pimp from Augusta.
You got the Bible with the gun cut out. That is 100% you. 100%.
He got the flask that say holy water on it, knowing dang well there's some ripple in there.
Yes, he is wrestling's Fred Sanford. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I say, like, he tells us his name is C.Red. We look on his license and it says Walter or some old black name like Norman. Because you know people, you know them old dudes from the South, they be having them old black names that make you go like, okay, did slavery end here yet? Because why your name still this old? They be over here having names like Ezekiel. Like, what are you, Amish? Like, why the hell your name so damn old?
Cornelius. That would be a good one.
Lucius,
yeah.
Hey, I'll take Lucius. Hey, Lucius Lyons.
You gonna go Empire on us? I mean, you know what? You kind of got Terrence Howard's voice when you be talking. Yeah, man. You got that Lucius Lyons voice, man. I want the next promo to be like Terrence Howard when he cut a promo. Look at him, man. You gonna come in this ring and I'm gonna put my hands on you, okay, man? You gotta understand this. All right. Why does Terrence Howard have to cry in every single thing he's in? Y'all ever notice that everything he's in is that one tear in every single scene? Because that's the only thing he can do in every movie is do this voice, man, in one tear.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. It truly is hard out here for a
especially if he's from Augusta.
Man, you got that fraternity in Georgia too, so he's 100% right. He's got you carved. I'll tell you what, the people that come out next Tuesday to roast you in person, they're going to have to turn up the heat after they see this.
They better bring it.
Oh, and there's Rian. Rian's got your likeness on the screen now.
Oh,
there's Terrence. You can see the eye drip. You can see it.
Hey, man. Leave it alone, man.
Oh, Christ. Paragon, you are a gem on this show. And I hope we get to do it in 2024 so we can have you come back. I can't wait to work with you for an entire calendar year at Frontline, assuming everything goes well. They're going to find out real soon what I've known for a while, and it's going to be great. That promotion is lucky to have you, as is any promotion. Do you got any final thoughts before we let you go tonight?
Ewok, I'm coming to whip that ass. Daniel Leeds, I'm coming to put you on a shirt. Professional wrestling industry, I'm smoking on your top 5. World, be good to one another. Be human instead of trying to be right. Let people know you love them. And remember that this whole thing, wrestling, this whole business, it don't love nobody. It's a beast that wants to be fed. And it's going to keep on going with or without you. So what you can do is to be the best part of it. And the way to be the best part of it, do right by the fans, do right by your peers, do right by yourself.
And that is the gospel according to Father Dripmus himself. Paragon, we love you, man. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be with us tonight. We'll see you again. We'll see you again real soon. Good luck when you take on Ewok this weekend. That is going to be one of the bangers of the year. I wish you well in everything you do, as we all do here on this show. You are aces, my friend.
Love y'all, and y'all be well. Thank y'all for having me. We're going to do this in 2024. I don't care if this is the last Power Hour. When I come back, Unc, you better bring that ass back.
Yeah.
You hear me, man?
I hear you, man. I hear you, man.
All right, man. Don't do this to me. You got to make sure you come back, skinny man.
We're gonna do an episode next year where we just talk about hip hop and basketball, because that's what we were doing. That's what we were doing before this thing started, and it was very engaging as far as I'm concerned. I could do that all day.
Yeah, because I was about to ask y'all who was y'all's hip hop top 5 before we say, oh, we gotta get the podcast started. So like we gotta get back here and have a discussion that, whether we talking, even if we talk wrestling, we're not talking about what Paragon got going on. We could talk about the industry. We could talk about our favorites, what's missing in it. We could talk about music. We could talk about basketball. We could talk about the different size trunks we could fit Steve in. We could have a great conversation.
I'm gonna let that one go because that was pretty fucking funny. All right.
Hey, that might make me come back.
Well, if that's all it takes, you want to talk about my waist size, I'll have you back.
I wasn't even talking about your waist size. I'm just saying that if you know what, there's a limo truck, then we can get the PT Cruiser. I just want to know that if I get a rental, I got to make sure I got room for you, because I also got to put my luggage in there.
That's true.
Man. I should have quit while I was ahead.
And on top of that, what if somebody else makes me mad? I got to put like Kid Lat. I'm putting Kid Lat in the trunk just because I don't like his mask. So like that's gonna happen too.
Well, Kid Lat, you can fit Kid Lat in a
Hey, we got to talk about that, because he family too.
All right, so then he gonna have to sit in the middle seat, in the back seat then, if he don't go in the trunk.
Well, his ass, Lat's so small he can fit in the glove compartment.
There we go, glove compartment.
Problem solved.
See?
I couldn't even get my left elbow in the glove compartment, but that's neither here nor there. Paragon, I'm going to book. You know what? No matter what we do next year, we're going to have you on early in January, because I want this top 5 hip hop. That's going to be the name of the show, and that's what we're going to talk about, because I've got some strong thoughts about that, and I can't wait to hear yours.
And also, y'all got to send me y'all's addresses so y'all can get these wedding invitation invites.
Damn it! Stop playing.
Do that.
All I'm gonna say is we about to, it's not like a quote unquote destination wedding, but it's gonna be in Florida, and let's just say that, you know, it may be a magical wedding because it may be happening in the most magical place on earth. So
Disney wedding. Oh my God.
Hey! You got too much dip on your chip. You can't be. You gotta be suggestive. You gotta be subliminal. Can't say the whole thing out there now.
Could be a once in a lifetime experience. How about that? I'm learning. You're teaching. I'm learning. I'll get better. I promise. All right. That's Paragon. Thank you. You can take your leave of us, sir. We appreciate your time. And now we're going to get into messing with PX and the attitude of his other podcast, because we got to deal with that before we get up out of here. But Paragon, you're the best, man. I love you. Good luck this weekend.
Love y'all as well. Y'all be easy.
All
Love
right.
you, nephew.
That is the man, the one, the only Paragon. There is only one, and that is him. All right. And there's Rion with Santa. We love that. That there's everything good about Christmas, right? In that it's the Wiz and Saint Nick. So you know that you got two movies right there. It's amazing. Pac-Man.
Yes, Steve?
What the fuck?
With what? The shirt?
What? No, I know about shirt. I got that. I was there. What the fuck are you and your people on the JFW podcast trying to prove?
All right, which part specifically?
You know, here's the thing about JFW. You know, we were at war with them, and we kind of ended, and you know, there was banter back and forth, and I kind of thought we had a handle on that. We kind of left you alone. You guys kind of left us alone. You know, I thought Travis and I had mended all the fences, working well together at SCW. I thought everything was copacetic. I like the fourth mother box too. I know you guys have issues, but I was kind of Switzerland there. I just think they're cool guys. I enjoy their show. I don't enjoy the going back and forth. I'm not excited to hear your diss track. I don't think it's necessary, but if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. That's you.
I'm going to drop some hot bars. Just know that.
I feel, you know, listening to Travis go on during a portion of that show, you know, I'm a lot of things in this business, in life. You know, many people have many criticisms of me, and I take them all with a grain of salt. There's one thing in this business and in my personal life that I am absolutely not. And when someone says that I am, I take exception with it. So when I shared your podcast, I said JFW crossed the line, because I feel like you kind of did. And, you know, you have to be accountable for your actions. So I don't know if you continuing on the JFW podcast will allow you to continue here as well. So I'm going to need you to make this better, or we're going to have to question your allegiances, because we love you. I know Rachel, when we talked about, you know, getting you here because we wanted you here, I know Rachel was very, very interested in it. She thought it was a great idea. Red loves it. You're his grandson. But after this morning, the fact that you didn't chime in after he said what he said, and Turtle, who I have supported through many, many times, didn't chime in after the Grand Wizard of Mayhem said what he said, I was a little hurt. Not going to lie. It rubbed me the wrong way, and I felt kind of bad about it. And I let it fester all day. Yeah.
I want to know what was said that got you so.
Yeah,
He said I was selfish, that I'm always in it for myself. That couldn't be further from the truth, in my opinion.
You're in what for yourself?
I have to believe wrestling. I'm a commentator. I occasionally get beat up in the ring, and I'm selfish. I don't like that, because I don't feel that I am. I feel like my job is putting other people over, making other people thrive. Say, you know, whether you're a heel, going after you, ridiculing you, or whether you're a baby face, putting you over and making you, putting over the matches. That's all I do. I don't get into Huracan Ranas and all the vernacular because that's not my game. I don't need to do that. I've got people around me that can do that. My job is to call the emotion and the energy of what's around me and to make it feel big. There are people that say nice things about me. And, when people say bad things about me, if there's constructive criticism about it, I'm okay with it because, I get better. Rion has been very good at constructive criticism. I know when I'm good and I know when I'm not so good. And I can take that. But I don't think I'm selfish. I don't think I'm selfish in wrestling, in life, at my job. I always try to work for the betterment and the benefit of others. So, Travis, I'm going to give you a statement that you give to everybody that doesn't listen to your podcast. Go fuck yourself. That's real talk. Don't mess with the bull because you'll get the horns. Period. And that's all that's all I have to say about that.
Well, let me just say, I didn't listen because I never do.
Go fuck yourself from Travis. I'll at least do that.
But when he makes those kind of statements, he needs to be more specific to what he's referring to. Because I personally
Wait.
Saw this coming. I saw this coming. Go ahead, Rion.
You know what? I'm gonna sit this one out because I was going to try to put some stuff on there because I feel like I'm the reason why this is happening, but I think I'm gonna sit this one out.
I don't think you're the reason, Rion. You're not the reason.
No. I think I'm gonna sit this one out. You go ahead, continue.
I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. They want to have heat. I can do heat. They want to get nasty. They want to. And Turtle. I misunderstood Turtle. I might have had him pegged wrong. Might have. Pax, Pax, I think you're all right still. I didn't really blame you for this because it's not your fight to fight. You're Mr. 1-0. You pinned Damian Gray. You're everybody's favorite. You're Red's favorite grandson. We had a splendid time at Super Wrestlers, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. You're good people. The LIM are good people. I'm disappointed in Turtle, and I'm super disappointed in Travis. Now, they won't care. He'll find a way to spin what I'm saying into whatever serves his purpose, and that's perfectly fine because I'm never going to speak of it again. I'm just going to say I'm disappointed. I think you're wrong. Go fuck yourself. That's it.
Well, again, as I was saying, sir, and my other grandson is yelling at the camera. When I mean specific, that's what I want to know. So, in this crazy business, we all can be a little selfish, and that's fine.
Red, can I? I want to give you some context before you finish.
Steve, do you mind if I provide the context?
You can. I just, before you say what you're going to say, I want you to understand the context of the selfishness.
Okay.
So go ahead and say what you say, and then I'll fill in what I need to say.
So from what I can remember from last night, I haven't had a chance to listen back. So I know Travis will grill me if my context is wrong. We played at the end of JFW this week what Rion had to say last week regarding the situation with the undeniable and everything that happened at Rocket Pro.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, Travis, and I'm neutral in the Power Hour of JFW. I just tend to think of myself on both of these shows as the middle, try to keep the peace. I don't
You're
lean one way or another
Switzerland.
because I love all you guys. I'm Switzerland, as Steve said a little bit ago. But I asked Travis and Turtle their thoughts on what Rion had to say. And I believe Travis had said about all were when everything was going on. Steve had, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because I was backstage getting ready for my match, but you had come to the aid of Shelly when she was attacked by Roxy, when Joey interrupted the state of RPW. But didn't step in, and I'm using Travis's words here, these aren't my thoughts, that Steve didn't step. So that's the context in a nutshell.
Hear what he said, because I think he froze.
So if I'm correct, because he didn't speak up or jump up in regards to what happened to Rion, that he's selfish.
He specifically said, I make every situation about me. I don't think that's true.
So in this particular situation, how can you be selfish when both of us were sitting there? So let's be honest. And both of us, after hearing Rion's feelings, I'm gonna be honest, we both walked away with our heads tucked between our tails. Because what he said was true,
That
I did have something else going on that day, but that also didn't mean we shouldn't have helped our friend. But I'll call it a mistake. One mistake does not define a person. Because if that is the case, then I'm sure Travis is selfish, Turtle is selfish. Shit, we're all selfish. That's just shit. And that's just.
Hey, Red. Red, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick. One of the things that was said while they were going back and forth was that, and this is the whole thing with Travis, is that even when my viewpoint went out there, Travis wanted to point out that somehow Steve made it about himself because he decided that he didn't want to be called Main Event Steve anymore. And because of that, and because of that scenario, Travis used it as, even when Rion is voicing his opinion, somehow it still came back on Steve. And this, like, there's other stuff that was said as well, as far as like with Turtle. But for the entire reason why I said like everything that I said, and this is given the rules of this show and other rules that I go accordingly with me dealing with this gimmick, is that all I have to do is say a thing and say it's true, and you have to figure out if it's true or not, because of the rules that this podcast and other podcasts put on themselves without realizing that they're handicapping themselves. Like, all I do is go according to the rules that you give me, regardless of what podcast I'm on. But the way that I'm able to do it is that I'm able to present it in a way to where it can be interpreted either as a shoot or as a work. What's happening now is hilarious to me because I feel like it's gotten a little bit more so than it needs to. Like, according to Turtle, I need to be slapped in the face, but I shouldn't kick people in the balls. But it's like, well, if that's the case, you clearly don't see things that I do because I should be kicking people in the balls all the time simply because it gets shit done. Now, granted, the entire scenario that's taking place with me, I'm the one that did it. I'm responsible for these said actions. Everything else that's happening after this is collateral damage, and I understand that. But as far as context is concerned, as far as the Steve part of it, it is more or less something that was said on my end that Steve then responded to, that Travis then said, well, see, he still made it about him, even when he wasn't even talking about Steve. And I get it, but it's a lot. That's a lot happening. So, Red, I hope that helps out as far as the context stuff, because it's a lot. It shouldn't be a lot, but the entire reason why I said what I said is because at the time, Steve asked me a question and he wanted to know my viewpoint on the show. Even though I made it clear I didn't want to talk about the show. So, all right, I got time today. Let's do this. So my bad. I don't know what else to say other than my bad.
But
please continue with all your stuff.
it wasn't your bad. You spoke and told us how you felt. So that's fine. I think the issue is, again, I really, I'm trying, I'm in, like Breon said, it's becoming more than what it should be. Because Steve said one thing, that doesn't make what Breon's feeling or what Breon said take away. Because again, whether you want to be called main event Steve or not has nothing to do with you being selfish.
I just was reacting to Rion's statement that he was saying, and the more
and I get it, and I guess the reason why I'm not gonna say upset, I will say offended, is because, see, outside of the bullshit, I know how selfless you are. So we don't have to go into details because that's between us. But I know who the real Steve is. And I do know that if anybody needed you for some real shit, and it didn't conflict with your family, that you would be there regardless. I don't know how many times that I've told you, hey, Steve, yeah, I'm probably going to be heading to the hospital. And what's the first thing that comes out your mouth? If you need me there, I'll be there. That's not selfish. I live on the south side. You live in the south suburbs. So you mean to tell me being selfish is somebody at 10 o'clock at night leaving their family, their wife, their kids, to drive to a hospital to sit with somebody if I asked you to? It's not. So I'm going to say this and then I'll leave. That when we're talking wrestling, we're talking gimmicks, make that clear. Don't attack somebody's character. Because if you attack their real character, then there's a fucking problem. Because I don't associate with anybody who I feel is selfish. And that's just fact. And again, we all, part of human nature, have some part of selfishness inside of us. It's called self-preservation. I mean, let's be honest. Shit. If we all are out, per se, at a show, somebody pulls out a gun and starts shooting, your instinct is to what? Run, hide. That's selfish, right? Because you're trying to protect yourself, keep yourself safe, keep others around you safe. So that's selfish. So I'm just going to say, how about we stop the character tearing down shit in 2023? Let that shit go. If this does go on, let's move past this shit. This year, there has been more back and forth. How about, hey, y'all do y'all thing, we do our thing, and it's all good. I've never understood, ain't neither one of us, being broadcast on Sirius XM and shit. And
we're certainly not busted open.
Right, so just saying, like,
although I think Travis does believe that he is busted open.
So all right, so
Wait,
what did I miss Sunday?
No. We're gonna talk about super wrestlers. Just real quick before, just to put a bow on this. Rion said some pretty heavy shit at the last show, at least as far as I was concerned. And I felt it deep in the core. And when he was done speaking, I felt very pedestrian. And that's why I said I don't feel like main event Steve. So me saying that wasn't to self-absorb myself into Rion's situation. It was me reacting to what he said because I feel like I should have been better and I wasn't. Kind of what you said earlier, Red.
Well, I understood why you said what you said.
Right, but I didn't do it out of to make it about me. It's not about me. I don't like it when it's about me to any great degree. I don't talk about myself in that way on this show. I never have. I'll bypass any match that I'm on because I don't really want to talk about it. I just like to live it and enjoy it and move on. But like I said, maybe he misunderstood what I said. Maybe that's his opinion, and that's fine. He's entirely welcome to his opinion. But to me, I am not selfish. Will never be selfish. Selfless, maybe. But that is a topic for another day. Let's move on to the super wrestlers, and let's tell Uncle Red what he missed. And Red, you missed some shit.
You did.
I've been trying to see. I haven't saw a lot, but what did I miss?
We found out who the masked puppet master of the super wrestlers is. It was one of the most insane reveals that I have ever witnessed. when it happened, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This can't be real. It just can't be real. Do you want to know who Catalyst Tambor really is?
Yeah, I'm waiting. Come on, stop playing.
Can I do it?
It's all
Can I
yours.
tell him? It apparently is Shogun.
No shit. No fucking shit. He unmasked himself on the screen, and there was Shogun in the ring looking at evil Shogun on the screen. That place went absolutely insane.
A massive what the fuck chant started.
I'm sitting next to Kevin. I'm like, Kevin, what the fuck are we watching here? Holy shit.
Danny's
Wow.
mind was blown.
We were fucked up the whole ride home. I was, after the show was over, we were getting ready to leave, and I happened to see Mrs. Shogun. And I said, Mrs. Shogun, now I know why you look so tired. Because you're dealing with two of them. And we laughed. But what the fuck? Shogun took away his own powers. Is that his twin? What the fuck? Is it what is happening?
Wow. So
and he lost the prize.
So I saw, and that's where I was going.
Mm-hmm.
Did that happen after he lost the prize, or
it happened? Pat, was it immediately before? It was during the match.
It was during the match. The video
took because Shogun was stunned, and after it was unmasked, that's when Rydal came up behind him and nutshot him and got the win. So the new master super wrestler and the possessor of the prize, which is a terrible happenstance for our guest last week, Ryor's evil twin brother, or his evil brother, Rydal, now has the prize and is finding a way back to Crosternia to become the king with the prize. Holy shit.
And Rydal wasn't even supposed to be in the #1 contenders match at the beginning of the show. He hacked into Nexus.
He hacked into Nexus.
And inserted himself and made it a triple threat.
Yep.
I did miss a lot, huh?
And now
Really
March 10th, we don't know what the fuck is happening.
Business Puppy got kidnapped by Destructo.
Destructo put Business Puppy on a leash and dragged him out of there.
The Porch Pirate used a crucifix on Vlad Bladder.
A crucifix. That's a real thing.
Yeah, but I did see where Vlad bit the pirate.
He did.
Does that mean that the pirate will become a vampire?
I guess we're going to have to find out in March, on March 10th.
Mario Day.
When we go back for our 4th installment of the Super Wrestlers. And it's going to be video game inspired. Because I believe he said it's happening on Mario Day.
That's true. Yep, March 10th. I already got my tickets.
So we move off of the trilogy into the next iteration of the Super Wrestlers. And there is plenty of chaos. USA Hole had an inflatable eagle with somebody inside.
Alopecia.
We saw our first ever lava, the floor is lava match. That was between Vlad Bladder and the Porch Pirate. And he's right. We got introduced to the first time to the crucifix, which apparently it's two dildos held like this, the crucifix, and apparently it repelled the teen vampire. And I thought it was humorous when the porch pirate tried to hit Vlad with garlic powder, and apparently Amazon fucked up the order and it was onion powder. And we all know that onions don't affect a vampire, but when you're robbing people's spices off their porches, sometimes shit gets fucked up.
Oh, and Pubic Moose can talk to the Hot Potato Championship.
Yes, the Hot Potato Championship speaks to Pubic Moose.
And he still has
it. He still has it.
Yep.
USA Hole won the match, did not. Pubic Moose still has it as we move into the next realm of things. It was, again, I don't know how they keep doing it. It's just the beautifully disturbed, deranged minds of Billy Whack and CM Venom that come up with this shit month after month, and the crowd is absolutely into it and electric. If you haven't been there yet, telling you, March 10th, you got to see it for yourself to believe it. It's unbelievable. It's wholly unbelievable. It's wholly unbelievable. That's what makes it brilliant.
So what was the attendance like?
Packed.
So the question
time in a row that there was people in the rafters.
So that's the question. What happens when they outgrow?
You better get your tickets. I mean, like I said, Pax got his tickets. I got my. I'm going back. There's no question. I can't miss it now. It's like you can't. It's like binge watching your favorite TV show. I'm not going to stop at episode 3. I need to see what happens on number 4. Mm-hmm. Now I got to wait a motherfucking year, half a year, to see the goddamn conclusion of what's happening. And then they're going to do some shit in March that's going to make. Then they're going to come back in July, and it's gonna. It's fucked, but it's brilliant.
All right. So I'll make this statement. Regardless if I'm here or not, I will join you on March 10th.
We're going to, if we do come back in 2024 and the Power Hour returns, we are going to bring in Billy Whack one more time just to thank him. Just to thank him, because this is just insane and it's so good. And I talk to so many people that say this is their favorite wrestling ever. It's amazing. The response is amazing. And they, of course, are sponsored by Ryor's Nectar of Earth, Pabst Blue Ribbon. So it's pretty funny that PBR is sponsoring the Super Wrestlers. It's nice work if you're a wrestling company and a beer company is your sponsor. Right, Pac-Man?
Agreed. Someone who enjoys an old style. LIM is unofficially sponsored by Old Style. So definitely.
Well, now you're going to have a war with the Super Wrestlers. It's a beer war. I could totally see that being
some PBR. I mean, if Old Style isn't there, PBR is our go-to.
There were many PBRs enjoyed at the night of the Super Wrestlers. That I was so happy to be there. I took the next day off of work. I took a vacation day.
Wow.
And then I went to the DMV. And that was a mistake.
Great vacation.
That's a whole other show. That's a whole other show. So we've gotten Super Wrestlers out the way. We listened to Keychain, Suge Knight, say nice things. We got the JFW stuff out the way. Let's move our interests to what's happening Saturday night, as SCW's Christmas Bash is happening, and it is the final show at Steam Hollow Brewery. The brewery is going away, and this is our last time there. And whoa, there are plenty of great matches happening, including one that I bet you're interested in, C.Red, and that's your son, Miles Mercer, the Genesis champion, taking on JPH. That ought to be one for the books. I can't wait to see that match.
I don't remember if they've ever been in the ring one-on-one. I don't remember.
Well, regardless of your memory, it's on.
So I know, I mean, I've known we've tagged against them, but I don't remember a one-on-one. So this might be a pretty good match.
Yeah. And it is the night of Red's children, which is why you should just come out to watch it.
No.
You could be my co-ring announcer. You can come with me. You can wear your Augusta Pimp clothes and we can do this together.
No.
Another match that you'll be looking at is the man that laid me out a few months back, Benny Bagas,
Austin
is taking on A Jizzle.
Yeah. And after what Benny did at the last show, A Jizzle has a score to settle. Because I know Jazz, and Jazz probably feels he should be the Genesis champion, that he could have beat Miles, and that's all fair and good. That's good-spirited competition.
Of a match.
But why did Boston have to interfere? You know,
Because he is a difficult human being, but when Acid has his sights set on Benny, I think he's gonna beat the Boston right out of him.
well, he's gonna show him he's not in Boston.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's South Side.
So,
and if that doesn't get you there, if Miles there doesn't get you there, if Jazz doesn't get you there, then what about making his return to SCW? None other than all day Marshe Rocket. He's not got an opponent yet, but he is going to be at Steam Hollow for the conclusion there. So Marshe hasn't been at SCW in a minute. Is Marshe fighting you? Are you his special opponent?
no.
Because that would fuck you up for the 17th, boy. If you had to go one-on-one with Shay and then had to fight with Shay on the 17th, that would be some next level multiverse shit.
No.
Other matches happening in Mantino. We've got the tag team titles. Dysfunction of Sabotage taking on the United Irishmen in the Steam Hollow Brewmasters champion, the Irish Car Bomb Sean Mulligan and Meat Hooks O'Bannon. We saw these two men beat the bejesus out of each other in an Irish pub match. They're tagging up now to eliminate Sabotage. Something tells me the leader of Sabotage, Aaron Xavier, will have something at stake in this match. So I don't know what his involvement will be, but I'm sure it will be something.
Of course.
The women's championship will be up for grabs as Angel of Sabotage defends her title against the returning Shauna Reed, who is a guest on this show. Now, Shauna and Angel and Renee Van Peebles have had some dealings in recent times this year. Shauna is coming back to SCW to get the title she feels she got cheated out of. So Angel better have her head on a swivel because this is going to be one of those matches for the ages.
Well, I don't know. You know, Shauna seemed to be so focused at the time on Renee, you know, and it's like, okay, you had all this anger, and all Renee tried to do was just shake your hand, you know, like, hey, okay, we're gonna enter this contest down the road, you know, and it's like, okay, are you gonna bring that same energy now toward Angel? You know, so is it personal against RVP? Or are you gonna bring that same shit when it comes to Angel. So we'll find out. Or
Yeah.
you'll find out.
Well, I'll find out, and hopefully you'll be there to find out too, since all your family's going to be there. Hey, maybe we'll even get Paragon out there for you. Maybe Paragon's fighting Marche, and he just didn't tell you.
Didn't you just say there's a show somewhere else?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Another match that I'm very interested to see is MMA fighter Apex taking on the man with the golden body, Matt Dewar, who made his SCW appearance last month. And I really like this matchup. I think this is going to be one of those matches that could be really, really fun to watch. And it's great that it's happening at the finale at Steam Hollow. These are two great athletes, two very distinctive fighting styles. It's going to be interesting to watch that match.
Okay.
Matt Dewar is one tough son of a bitch, and Apex boy. I don't know why he and Doug Keast have this thing going, but it's weird. Doug Keast has helped him out of jams a couple of times, and I tried to interview him a couple of times, and he says, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know this guy. So it's a very weird dynamic happening, but it's happening this Saturday night in Manteno, Illinois, Steam Hollow Brewery. SCW presents Christmas Bash. And one of the big things that's happening is the contract signing for the first show of the new year back in Shabance. It's James Creed versus Aaron Xavier for the title, and the winner will pick the next president. Well, I shouldn't say that. If Aaron Xavier wins, he gets to pick the next president. If James Creed wins, then retiring president Terry Allen gets to pick the next president. So, you know, if Aaron Xavier wins, who he's picking, right? Himself.
Right.
And Angel said this. She said, and I was, because I was at ringside when this announcement was made, she pointed at me and said, you're the first person I'm firing when we're in charge. So now my job is on the line.
Wow.
And, you know, Angel and I, we got issues that go way, 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 way back. And she singled me out.
Tell her to get over it.
Because I keep telling everybody she's from Green Bay. She hates that shit. But makes me laugh. So, again, it's the final weekend for many. There's not a lot of wrestling that happens after this weekend because you're dealing with Christmas weekend and New Year's weekend. So not a lot of shows run. So if you're looking to get your fix of independent pro wrestling, these are the two weekend. This is the weekend to do it. So on Saturday, yes, Pac-Man?
Yes, sir. So, other thing I want to add, Santa Claus is going to be there as well. And there will be at Steam Hollow.
Okay, I did not know that.
And there is a toy drive, so be sure to bring your toys.
That I was just going to get to. So, yep, go ahead. Tell them all about it, kid.
So bring an unopened toy for kids. Santa will be there, and there are high voltage matches before the show. Eric Schultz will go up against a debuting superstar in Kebab. Sheik will take on Donovan Toretto. And the Amazing Turtle will defend the high voltage title against Johnny Chaos. Also, on the main card, the Torture Killers will be going up against Mason Perks, Johnny Chaos, and Turtle.
Well, there you go. PX does a show with the general manager of High Voltage, a man that is very high in the hierarchy of SCW, Travis. So he's got scoop I didn't even have. So well done, young squire. Well done indeed, Pac-Man. That's why we like you here.
I do my best. What can I say?
So there's Rian's got the picture up there. Christmas Bash happening this Saturday night in Manteno, Steam Hollow, the grand finale. It's been a great relationship we've had with that building. Come out one more time, enjoy some beverages, enjoy some wrestling. We will toast until the wee hours, I'm sure, but not too much of the wee hours because we got business on Sunday. It is the last hurrah for the urban sensation, the icon, C.Red. It's the final in-ring performance of his career. Now, I always say that because when you're sabbatical, we always put the quotations. I'm not questioning your sincerity. I truly believe you believe it. but I truly believed Ivan Manson believed it. I truly believe Machine believed it. And, we got 3 rings and we got family matters happening. But that's neither here nor there. You do you. It's your finale. And it's a steel cage. Red?
I know, right?
Tell us your thoughts on Captain's Fall inside a steel cage.
Bittersweet. My boss gave me a call Saturday and told me he's leaving. And the announcement is supposed to be made official Thursday, but all this other craziness, but it was leaked yesterday. And it made me think how so many chapters in my life are closing in the span of a week. It is hard to put into words. Jamie even asked last night, how am I feeling? And like, you get psyched for this. You know, it's the show. The show is coming up. But to know whether win, lose, or draw, regardless, that's it. Like, here's how fucked up it is. My wrestling bag is right here. It's never been here. It's always upstairs for whatever reason. My wrestling bag has now found its way down here. And I said once Sunday is over, this is where it'll stay. Put away, thrown over on the other side. And it's kind of hard. Very difficult to know that this thing that I've done for 20 years, that has loved me more than 2 of my marriages, that, and I've told people, you know, my lover has always been wrestling. She's never left me. She never cheated on me. The only thing she didn't do is give me hot sex and a hot meal.
That would be weird if it did.
It would be, right? But for 20 years, she has loved me, and I have loved her back. Pain and all. Getting up, having to drudge, trying to get to work on a Monday. Sometimes you can cuss. Sometimes you're not feeling good. Sometimes you go to work with black eyes, right, Max?
Do
You know,
you think Max Holiday will be in Richmond Park next Tuesday night? I wonder.
I doubt it. I doubt it. But so there are a lot of emotions. Honestly, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get through the match. honestly. Um, Again, the first time, as Marche says, I didn't do it for me. I did it for somebody else. This time I'm doing it for me. And that's the part that, yeah, I can hold my head up and say I'm walking out on my terms. You know, no injury is putting me out. You know, Miles is still poking the bear, talking about I still got a lot left in the tank. You know, but I get to walk away on my terms, and at the same time, I'm walking away. You know, like you said, it's gonna be easy going into next year because there are no shows, right? So, but you know, after after uh Rocket Pro, you know, because I'm contracted to be there. What happens that next week? You know, when I see Steve has a show. I see Pax says, hey, yeah, LIM are going to this show. That's when it's gonna start getting to me, you know. Now, yeah, I could show up, but the days of do you have your gear in your car are over. And that's bittersweet, you know. Um, so
Well, you're going out with your boys because you're fighting Damian Gray and the Workhorses, which is no easy task for anybody. Trust me, I know. But, you know, Miles is your partner. Marche Rocket is your partner. And there's a final partner yet to be named, which I can't wait to see. So maybe you're going out on your own terms, but you couldn't be surrounded by better people to have your back. But you say you're walking away on your own terms. That might be inaccurate because you're going inside a steel cage and it's a grueling environment. And we have seen many people injured inside steel cage matches over the years. When your number's up, your number's up. So maybe you walk away on your own terms, or maybe you don't.
no, I'm walking away on my own terms. Just understand. But is that good or bad for them?
It is
Because understand, I have nothing to lose. I mean, it's not like this is a secret and I get hurt and all of a sudden I make an announcement that I'm done wrestling, right?
right.
This statement has already been out there. We've talked about it for months.
Months.
So guess what? I have nothing to lose. I can go in there full kamikaze and not give a shit. I don't have to see them after Sunday.
I just hope that we're not doing the roast of C.Red, the C.Red appreciation hour from a hospital room because I don't get good reception there.
Hey,
And I get your Jello, just so you know.
not if it's red. Shit.
No, I want the green Jello. If it's
Oh,
the
well,
red, you can have that shit. I want the green.
I'll take the
got
blue
it.
Jello.
Fine. All right.
Okay.
Jello for everybody.
Hooray!
There are a lot of matches happening inside this steel cage. We've got the program taking on the champions, taking on the former champions, the Booze Brothers. I can't picture Sean Danger inside a steel cage because I feel like he could drunkenly pass through the cage and end up on the floor, kind of like Plastic Man or something. But boy, that'd be a fun one to watch. The program thinks they have it all on lock, but you never underestimate those two fools. There's a lot of heart and a lot of fire in Trax and Sean Danger, and I wouldn't want to fight him in a steel cage because when Danger gets that jug and gets that burst of energy, usually people escape the ring. And this time there's no place for Karen and the opera singer to go. They're stuck. So I don't know. That's going to be an interesting match. Then we have a match that I'm very much looking forward to. The IPW Junior Heavyweight Champion Kid Lat defends his title against the debuting Manny Cortez. Holy shit. That is going to be the fastest match that you've ever seen, steel cage or not. There are going to be people hanging off the rafters in that one.
You got to be crazy to sign a contract to make your debut inside of a steel cage. Like, who does that?
Manny Cortez. If you haven't seen Manny Cortez, come to Richmond Park and see Manny Cortez. If you don't know who Kid Lat is when we talk about him, come to Richmond Park and see Kid Lat, because steel cage, no steel cage, backyard on a trampoline, wherever they would fight is going to be something to behold. This match is going to have fire written all over it. And then what I think will end up being the most violent match of Sunday, it might be the most violent match in the history of Richmond Park, in the history of IPW, because these two crazy, RVP and Brittany K, in a cage, which means when they go into that cage, you can't get out of the cage. It's a last woman standing match. And we've been watching for months these two beating the snot out of each other, and someone comes to break it up, or something happens where it's stopped, or something happens. There's no stopping this one. This match, the cage isn't opened until there's only one woman standing. And the ARC and RVP, I don't know if she's ready to handle what Brittany's bringing to the table here.
Oh, I think she's ready. Just like the work parties, everybody thinks, after you've been around for a while, there's somebody new that wants to test you, wants to see, if I can knock you down, can make myself rise. And that's all this is about. Brittany feels, think about what that does for her reputation. If she can tell people, I took out RVP.
Right.
According to me, the woman that has been dominating the Midwest for
a long
years.
time.
So, what happens? So, I'm never going to count Renee out, ever.
No, you can't count her out, but boy, there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide inside a steel cage.
No, it's not.
Then there is the big 4-on-4 elimination match inside the steel cage. You've got, oh my God, look at this cast of characters. You got Joey Dalton, Corey McHenry, Scorpion Dorado, and the Amazing Turtle versus Jay Vanity, Marcelo Spade, the Demon Baby, and that Psycho that would be champion.
I love that champion.
Rachel's going to get blood all over her. And I'm not talking about Cactus Rack.
Nah, Rachel better not get any blood on her. I feel sorry, you know. I think I hope since he couldn't stick up for us, I hope that Psychopath and the baby are left alone with Turtle. And we'll see what happens then.
They say pride comes before a fall. This is quite a matchup. I'm looking at Dalton and McHenry and a Scorpion Dorado. I mean, they all bring to the table a certain level of excellence. Turtle has been on a roll, but Marcelo Spade is a dangerous human being.
Oh, Spade just don't give a damn.
Right. And Steele is certifiably insane. We have seen that he don't. Yes, Pax, you're waving Ryan Matthews.
No, the more I think about it, do you think Pubic Moose and D'Angelo Steele would make a great tag team, considering the whole belt thing?
That is a very savvy opinion, because the hot potato belt talks to Pubic Moose just like Rachel talks to D'Angelo Steele. Maybe D'Angelo Steele's crazy enough to become a super wrestler, Red. Maybe you could put a good word in for him next time Billy's on the show.
I can try.
Hey, you want people to talk to belts? I got one for you. Also, we have Marsha Rocket. I guess you could call it Marsha is going to be in after the open challenge and what happened at the last show. Marsha is going to be in the cage with you. You and Marsha have gone around the world together. You guys have been together as long as you've been in this business for the most part.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you personally to have Marsha by your side? Now, Miles, Miles was the pre-show when he was a young man. And when he got into the ARC, he started to develop, and right now he is one of the hottest talents working today. Marsha Rocket became Marsha Rocket as a member of the Soul Touches. All Day was born. And he has, Impact, NWA, you name it, he's been there. He's one of the most respected wrestlers that you meet in a locker room or anywhere. And he's standing by your side in your grand finale. It's a sense of symmetry. Back at the beginning, that final day, something about the spirit of the Soul Touchers carrying all the way to the end. It's got to make you feel pretty good about your legacy, sir.
It's more than that. And hell, we talk about it numerous times on the show. Marsha, and I said it in my post, I think yesterday. Marsha was there for me day one. So how blessed am I to have him on the last day? Here's a little tidbit. When I started in this business, I used to call Marsha my son. Because I was literally I had the minivan. So here I am looking like I'm driving my children.
Soccer practice.
Right. We're heading to the shows. All right. We joked about it the last time we were together. how I
Was
would
that
have
when
to
Levi was with you and you guys were becoming Horsemen 2.0?
no, um, that I had to, drive to his house, you know, uh, if he couldn't get the car that day, so I got to drive to his house, or somebody had to drop him off at my house. Now I've got to drive him home, and, you know. So I called Marche my son, um, and it wasn't until I went through uh, something pretty bad, and Marche showed that he was not my son; he was my brother. Um, and what I love about Marche is whether you're right, you're wrong, he'll tell you. Um,
He'll
so
tell you when it's not retirement, it's sabbatical.
yes, he will. So, but then to have Miles, who uh, I don't even think you knew this, Steve, or not even Rhea. Um, I was done with wrestling. Uh, and then me and the evil genius, we talked, and he kept telling me about this super group he wanted to start. He wanted to be the next horseman. And I said, okay. And how many times do you hear that shit? When you've been in this business as long as I have, you hear, oh, yeah, I want to do this with you. And yeah, okay.
And then they say facts.
And shit never happens. So, um, and again, remember, I had been to crash testing. Me, Shay, Jazz, like, oh, okay. We didn't know it was under siege
That's where
at
we
the
met.
time. Right. But I didn't know
Singing
it
En
was,
Vogue.
no, we didn't sing in Vogue that night.
One of those nights we did.
Yeah, no, that was after I came back.
That was after you came back, yeah.
Matter of fact, that was the day I came back.
Right.
But because James Storm was in the reference. I was, like I said, I was done. So I really didn't have any enthusiasm or passion left. And then I met Miles. And I had never seen anybody bust their ass on a pre-show the way he had. Like, what the
Incredibly
fuck?
gifted. He was incredibly gifted even then.
Like, dude, you got 5 minutes and you're going out here and do all this shit.
That's where he became
Five-
the Kang of the pre-show.
I couldn't get it, dude. I didn't get it. And then I was blessed that I got put in with Miles and Renee, and instantly we started a program.
And then Willie.
Well,
and
no, we
John
no,
Hudson.
we started with it was just Aaron, yeah, Aaron, me, Renee, Miles, and Hudson. That was it. And we started our program against Rion. And then Rion decided, well, shit, if I can't beat him, join him.
And that's when he became partners with Willie, and they became crash tested tag team champions. And I think they're tag team champions to this day.
Well, in my eyes, they are, but, whatever. So, nothing against the current tag team. I like them, but so I've been blessed for 20 years to have Marsha and Miles. And I could tell you who my mystery partner is.
Are you going to tell us? Are you going to let the cat out the bag?
You guys want to know? Are you sure?
It's trauma.
No. I would love for it to be trauma.
Is it it's acid?
No, it's not acid.
Is it Willie?
I will give you a hint. I will give you a hint. Their family.
Could be Larkin. Could be anybody. Could be Paragon.
It's family. So,
All right.
So, if anybody wants to find out who that mystery partner is, have to show up this Sunday.
If we haven't given you reason enough to come to Richton Park, it's Red's last stand. What a spectacle. PX, you're going to be there, right?
I'll be there. Gabagool will be there, and Double J will be there. We're going to have an LIM contingent celebrating Grandpa.
There we go. So I recommend you come out to Richton Park this Sunday. There's all the info you need. It's a great place to see a show. And Red, you can't die too much because we got to roast you next Tuesday. So a week from today, assuming Red doesn't die at Captain's Fall, we will have a live edition of the Power Hour at that same venue, VFW Post 311 in Richton Park, right almost at the corner of Sauk Trail and Governor's Highway. We're going to have special guests. There are going to be people live that are going to come in to roast Red in person. We'll have a few people on Zoom calling in from places across this great nation to give their well wishes to Red. If anybody deserved an appreciation night, it is our good friend and partner, C.Red. But if you want to see him wrestle, if you've ever wanted to see Red wrestle, this is your last time. So I think we've covered everything. We got what we're doing next week, the season finale of this show. We've got big happenings all weekend long. So that's I think we're done.
Are we?
Did I miss anything? Pat?
Nope, I don't think you missed anything.
Rion, are we good? Rion quit. He's like, fuck this. I'm quitting. Red, any final thought? Oh, there's Red. There's Rion. That's right. Let's talk about this Saturday at the VFW Hall. Santa's going to be there. Rion, tell us a little bit about that.
The picture speaks for itself.
There it is.
There we go.
The community Christmas event, Toys for Kids, noon to 3 o'clock. Santa and his helpers will be there. It's going to be fun. It's always festive. Everything the VFW Hall does is really great. The veterans and all the people that work there do amazing work. It's going to be fun. So before you come to the Richton Park on Sunday, come to Richton Park for a few hours on Saturday. See Santa Rion and his elves and all the things that are happening in Richton Park this Saturday.
I agree. I experienced it last year, and let me just say, I thought the kids got them. Kids, like, dude, if I got ran over by one more bike, like, kids were jumping on those bikes and rolling through that place. but it is a awesome, awesome event from a wonderful organization. And so if you're not too busy, come out and help out. And if you can't see the bottom of the screen, they're also accepting unwrapped toys and or donations. So again, come out to Richton Park, BFW Hall, and show your support.
That I couldn't have said it any better myself, so I won't even try. We missed Rachel tonight. She is at the Aqua concert being a Barbie girl. She messaged me a little earlier, said she was 3 beverages in and didn't feel like it was a good time to talk to us about what's going on. So we're hoping she's having a great time reliving the 90s, because why not? Thanks to Paragon for being an amazing guest. He's fantastic. You know what? I almost forgot. I need to rack this back a little bit. And I'm not talking about this for myself, but I want to talk about it for the people I'm involved with in this thing. I almost forgot that match this Sunday. So the big leagues will be in the steel cage. That, of course, is J.R. Lindsay, Motivation Mike, and the Bro Bros taking on the Trios Amigos, the Trios champion, and their teammate Ewok. So I forgot that that match is happening also this Sunday in a cage. So I believe the Trios titles are on the line in the cage. So am I correct on that, Rion? Are the Trios titles on the line? I should look at the flyer. Let me look at the flyer real quick. Hold, please. It's a 4-on-4 Captain's Fall elimination match. It doesn't necessarily say the titles are on the line, but I guess they could be on the line. I mean, there are plenty of people in there to take belts. So, that match is happening too. Don't miss Red Appreciation Roast next Tuesday night in Richton Park. Thanks to Red, thanks to Pac-Man, thanks to Rion, thanks to everybody that's watched throughout this calendar year. The big send-off, thanks to the LIM. We hope the LIM comes out to the big roast on. Pax, is the LIM going to be front and center next Tuesday?
I'm going to talk to him.
You got to come support Grandpa. Unless he dies on Sunday, then, we'll have a memorial service instead. So we'll see how that works out. Or we'll do it from the local hospital. Maybe we'll go down and have a room at Christ, sit next to Red on the defibrillator as the drip's going down. Don't get hurt, Red. It's a steel cage, damn it.
I'm trying not to.
All right, we're out of here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for possibly the final time. For Pax, Rion, Red, and myself, and Rachel, have a great night, and thanks for watching the Power Hour. We'll see you next Tuesday.